to Life Lessons with Queen Billion. We were supposed to have this live session on African bomber jackets. However, network is turning on and on, so we're trying to see if it would work out well on live on Queen Billion, and then we can move on. Bumi, thank you for joining. So on today's Life Lessons with Queen Billion, we are discussing the topic how to unleash the power of ready-to-wear to 10x your sales. Saying thank you, Sonny Babs, for joining. Oluwasheye, thank you for joining. And hopefully, Coach Laoye will be able to join us then. Oh, thank you, husband of life. Laoye in the building. Laoye in the building. Thank you for joining. So hopefully it's going. Oh, fashion. Thank you for following us from African bomber jackets to this place. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So hopefully Coach Laoye will be able to join us here, and then we'll be able to see ourselves, because I couldn't see him on the other hand, but he could see me. So hopefully he'll be able to join us on this live. So basically, like I was saying before on the other live, that there's a whole lot happening in Nigeria, and since I'm also a fashion entrepreneur and I have a lot of people, I have a rich network of people that are into the business. So I'm just doing a series, talking about business, talking about how to make our businesses better and how we can actually to us and be able to do what have you, and be able to do what we need to do, and plug into the opportunities around us. Be able to plug into the opportunities around us. So once we can plug into the opportunities around us, then we can easily be able to 10x our sales. So Coach Laoye is a business coach, is a fashion business coach, and that's actually his niche. And I've worked with him a couple of times, on business grounds and all of those things. And I just felt, why don't we just, draw from his wealth of knowledge to be able to 10x our sales, unleashing the power of ready-to-wear to 10x our sales as fashion entrepreneurs. So Coach Laoye, are you able to join me live? I can't see you yet. I don't know what's happening today. This is the first time Instagram is going to be doing anyhow. So maybe we would even just move to YouTube. I just go and record it on YouTube straight. Yes, I've actually accepted you to join me live, and I don't know why it's yet to bring you on board. I don't know why it's here to bring you on board. Okay. Hallelujah! Finally! Thank God. Thank God. So I guess God just wanted us to have it on Queen Billion, not on African bomber jackets, because I don't know, because it's still the same phone. So I don't know what the difference is. How are you, Coach Laoye Curtis?
I'm very fine, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very grateful.
Cheers. Thank you for accepting to come. It's really lovely to have you on Life Lessons with Queen Billion. Yes.
You're welcome.
Well done. Well done. So let's dive in, because time has even gone, because I don't even know how to. I just pray that this goes on smoothly and no more glitches and all of that. So so basically, okay, before we just start being all businessy and all of that, a lot of people here probably don't know you. They've never heard of Coach Laoye, Curtis, and all of that. I know you. You are a fashion entrepreneur, coach, and all of that. But basically, tell us about your background, your early years, education, whatever. Just let's feel your pulse. Let's just get to know you a little bit. What's your story?
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. My name is Laoye Curtis, and that's actually my moniker. My full name is Laoye Curtis Oyebola. Okay. So I'm a graduate of University of Lagos. I actually studied mathematics science, and I've had a background in leadership, volunteering for organizations where I learned leadership, I learned business. Foremost among them is Nia Adesanya, who is the mentor, yeah, in the
Wow.
space.
I didn't
Yeah, I
know that we
remember.
shared a mentor.
Awesome. When I graduated
Wow.
2006, yeah, I was fortunate to work with him, right until 2007. So I learned business, as it were, as well as leadership, under his tutelage. And it was the best period of my life, seriously, because the things I learned from him still serve me till today. I mean, as it is, I don't use my certificate for work. In my experience working with organizations over the years, it's been more or less like the management hearing me, learning what I know, and how you can set the organization and they open their floor to me and say, can you work with us? That's been my experience over the years. So I remember I've done businesses on my own, right? Yeah, I remember a time when I used to set up IT labs for private secondary schools and the likes. I remember when I used to sell mini laptops when it used to be the rave in Nigeria, on installment basis. I remember when I used to do career trainings, yes, for students in secondary school. So those were like backgrounds where I learned to practice, public speaking, training, motivating, helping people find answers to real life situations. Not until 2016, thereabout, right? That I remember I had to put my trust in God and then go on the prayer retreat, seeking the face of God, saying, I want to be a success. I don't just want to be moving from one business to the other, trying to have a breakthrough in life. And I was like, God, just show me what I need to do. I remember those days, Pastor Stan would say, don't imagine what you think. Why don't you go to God? But create and ask him,
Exactly.
what is the master plan for my life? So I've seen it in practice. Because I remember then I put together and said, I have run businesses that were about to break through and, give me some mega millions, and then everything packs up from whatever reasons, government policies, people, and what have you. But then this time around, I'm like, show me what I should do that nobody can stop it. Show me what I will do that I can build a life around it and be successful at it. And I remember the answer that came to me was more or less like a voice that I kept hearing in my head saying, start coaching people how to do business. But I was literally afraid initially. Because I was like, what do I want to coach people? I've started several businesses that were at the cusp of succeeding, but they failed. So what do I now want to teach people? But then I had some experiences back then, private schools inviting me for their end of the year parties, their graduation parties, and I'm there to speak. I want to speak at one of them, and I remember one of the co-speakers saying to me that I learned from what you said that if you don't know, if you can't teach people how to succeed, teach them how not to fail.
How not
Then
to
they will
fail.
actually succeed. And then
That's
the guy
beautiful.
respected me. On my way home with a flat envelope, from that speaking engagement, I heard in my spirit, I heard a voice that said, but you were afraid to start coaching.
So you just coach
You
someone.
just coach, and the whole lecturer, a senior lecturer in the university had to, defer to you. And that was when the confidence came. And then I set up a WhatsApp group and I said I can teach people how to start businesses and succeed at it. Come and learn from my failures. That's how it started, 2016. And then ever since then, it had grown. So I remember 2017, right? Early 2017, January or February, thereabout, I went back, to the person that told me that I should start teaching people how to succeed through coaching, right? And then I prayed again. I remember a prayer retreat where I was asking God, I've started, I'm doing fairly okay. But in a month, I don't do more than 50K. And then my family is growing. I just got married. I won't do enough for my bills. So, Lord, what should I do? That was what I did. And then this second time, I heard in my spirit very clearly that go and research the fashion industry.
Wow.
there is no structure in that industry.
Hmm.
And then I heard in my spirit clearly that many married women, their marriages are about to crumble because their spouses have spent a whole lot investing in their businesses without anything coming out of it. If you can help them find answers, you would have saved marriages. So it is not
Wow.
beyond
It's
just
not just the
teaching
business.
business. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So
Wow.
that was the starting point for me. And then
Wow.
I started by asking for a help from one of my best friends in the industry. I remember Tokumbo Renix to support me. And I'll tell you why Tokumbo got so
Lennox. The
yeah, Renix, he
bridal,
got so
the bridal
the
couture
bridal
lady.
queen, thank you.
Tell
Yeah.
her that
Renix.
I'm coming for her. She needs to come on
Uh,
live lessons with Pavilion.
I'll
Because I
tell
know
her,
Tokumbo
Renix,
is fire for
fire
fire.
for fire. Tokumba was awesome. And then at the
Wow.
point, we got so engaged.
Hmm.
And I remember that time I got scared again, like, oh, the only person in the industry that I could say hold me by the hands because this is a terrain I don't know about, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing it as per instruction. She's now
Hmm.
engaged. And I remember during one of those days I was praying and said, God, please help me. And the next thing I heard is that, who told you to go and seek for help? Am I
Hmm.
not capable to hold you by the hand? Now,
Wow.
Tokumbo is busy. When you call her, she will say she's busy. That's what I heard. I said, now start teaching people. Do you know that before then, before I teach a class, back then I was using WhatsApp, okay? So I would
Hmm.
type all the things I want to teach as short messages. They will drop
Yeah.
it there on the grocery. I want to teach
Mm-hmm.
them every 1 minute. But when I know I don't have it to come up behind me anymore, I needed to be teaching in real time.
Hmm.
I suddenly realized that my head just blew open. And I
Wow.
started so if I'm teaching in a class, right, I am literally seeing what I am typing, like I'm reading from somewhere. And then clarity
Wow.
comes as I'm talking. And then the next thing people start telling me is that, is it that they told you the secret of my personal life? Is it that
Wow.
you know this? It got to a point, one of them said, are you a prophet? And I
Hmm.
laughed out loud. And then she said, I would
Hmm.
like to see you. And then when she said
Hmm.
she would like to see me, then we met somewhere in Ikeja. And during the course of the conversation, she said she paid 100,000 and above for coaching, that she didn't get results. But for a class
Hmm.
of just 10,000, she's done
Wow.
almost half a million. And then she was like,
Wow.
can you coach me one on one? That's how I entered into the
Wow.
one-on-one coaching space, and God has been
Wow.
faithful. So
Wow.
over the years, 2020 was another threshold for me
Hmm.
where I needed to pray again and say, God, I've
Hmm.
grown to a point where people know me.
Hmm.
However, I'm losing my identity. And I heard again
Hmm.
in my spirit, raise other people to be coaches. Then you
Hmm.
focus on ready to work. Focus on people that are into fashion training as a business, coach them, show them how to succeed in it. But that fashion training, I was afraid to go into it. You know, being someone who's never been into fashion school,
Yeah.
who doesn't produce, and then you now want to be teaching people that are into fashion, the
Mm-hmm.
school business, how they should grow their business. I was like, that's not for me. But I stuck with the ready to wear, and till today, people now know me as the ready to wear coach, even more than
Oh.
they know me as a coach that can help them grow their business. So that's my journey so far
Hmm.
between 2016 and now.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow, what an incredible story. Quite inspiring. And you know, it's amazing what you've said so much more than what you even thought you said, because for someone that is watching this, this is um an eye opener for you. This is an awakening for you to realize that, look, beyond what you can see in the physical, beyond what you think you know, beyond what you think you learned in school, what you learned in secondary school, university, masters, or whatever, there is the one that holds the plan of your life. There is the one that knows what you lay your hands upon that would prosper. There is the one that knows what has been prospered already. You know, I was talking to one of my mentors yesterday, and he said there are things that God has already blessed. So why are you running helter skelter, looking for what is not blessed, wasting your time away, when you can ask him, God, what have you blessed, so that I can just go to where he's blessed, so that I will just know that I am in the right place. So your story, you know, what you have shared with us tonight, just opens a whole new world of understanding, a whole new world of revelation to be able to say, look, seek, like the Bible, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and every other thing shall be added unto you. So there's no better way to just, this day is the scripture fulfilled in our eyes. There's no better ways. You understand? There's no better way to, there's no better example right now to bring it to flesh to say this is what that scripture means. You understand? Because for you to have gone to pray and then you got the word and then you acted on the word, and here we are today. So it's phenomenal. So, and I think from you telling us about your background in mathematics, now into teaching people how to do business and into fashion. So have you for any moment considered going to fashion school?
Pardon?
Have you at any moment considered going to fashion school, maybe fashion business school, New York, London, Paris, or something?
Yes. I remember researching London College of Fashion, and they helped me to really understand, how big the fashion industry literally is, and I've been fantasizing that one day I'll sign up for trainings there. Really,
amazing.
It's one of the things that I desire. Yeah, and then it gives me a word of knowledge, because something happened back in 2017 or 2018 when I searched on the short courses in the London College of Fashion. And I saw that some of the outline that they had, I had already taught them in full detail.
Wow.
Classes, and I'm like, guy, when will you be selling for £1,000, $2,000? I was so excited. Like, okay, we'll get it someday. And in a journey where you are moving in an uncharted territory, there are moments where you will gainsay yourself, moments where you will not really trust that you are good enough, so to speak. I've had that battle, which is why I created a course back in 2021.
Network.
2022 abundance mindset. Yes. And that has liberated a lot of people mentally, to see that there is more that you can accomplish if only you can allow the potential God has given to you to come to light and not limit yourself, and being in a circle, right, in a network of like-minded people who support you, in your journey.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So I really aspire to go to schools like that.
Wow. Yeah. So can you delve deeper on that abundance mindset? Since we are talking about 10xing our sales, I think that's going to be the bedrock of what being able to shift mindsets and be able to. So can you just delve a little deeper on abundance mindset?
Okay, now let me tell you a story to back it up. Okay, a story to flow with it. Back in 2021, October to be precise. That was when I finally had the confidence to start telling people that they can do millions in their fashion business on a monthly basis. Wow. Though I've had clients that were doing it, and then, with the way the online space works, if you come out too much telling people that, you can make millions in a tight economy like Nigeria, usually people will think you are trying to scam them so they can buy your program. So I tended not to go that route. But in October, I was like, let's do it. So I created I held a podcast session on Telegram along with Clubhouse. I streamed, on both platforms together, and I said, if fashion is truly your calling, you can make millions in it. Let's discuss. So rather than saying it like, if fashion is truly your calling, you will make millions, I'm saying, let's discuss. And people came out and they discussed, and then they were like, it is possible, and what have you. Then the lady reached out to me and said, sir, I've not done above 500K in a month in my fashion business, but I want to experience that million monthly.
Avalanche.
Okay, do you mind joining my coaching program where I'm organizing a pilot trading? That actually is the second run of it. Anyways, it's a new name. And I said, let's aim for 3 million in 3 months. So that means on average 1 million per month. And then we did it between November 2021 and January 2022. She came back with 4.3 million as revenue that she did. And then it blew her mind, and she was like, Coach, I can't believe this. It's possible. So I asked her a couple of questions. And then the thought now crossed my mind that if you could have this person achieve the same result, because back in 2019, people were doing that in my coaching program. So repeating it in 2021 and still getting the same result shows that I know something. Okay. So I was not like,
the principle.
How can I share this with more people? So I sat back and meditated on it, and then the answer that came to mind is that woman had a mindset that abundance is possible. From that podcast we had, where we said if fashion is really your calling, you can do millions. She believed it was possible.
The seed.
She experienced it in 3 months. Then it means that there must be things that helped her. So what are those things? That's what led me now saying, okay, you know what, let me create it as a short course. Invite people to pay. Then I just charged 1,000. Normally, I just wanted to record. I would have done it for free. But I was like, no, I don't want people to take this for granted. I said 1,000. I got about 100 people or so that signed up for that. And then I'm like, I didn't run adverts, and we still got this response. That's good. And then we all did. Well, so the definition I came up with for abundance mindset, right, is this. Being in a state of mind on a day-to-day basis where you expect that abundance is your portion, regardless of what's going on around you. So you are expecting that I would experience abundance, even though my account is empty. It is not motivational talk. It's you facing the reality that I know things are not working, but I expect that things are going to work for me. I'm not expecting.
It's a must.
You know, it's a must. I'm in a state where I know that when I'm thirsty, I should drink water. So if I naturally expect that I would drink water to quench my thirst, then why don't I be expecting that I would have
exactly
all the time?
Simplifying the belief.
Thank you, ma'am. And then that was when the scripture came. As far as your eyes can see.
Wow.
We get into the class. I said, so it's as far as your eyes can see. You can see that in spite of what you're going through right now, you can do 4 million in a month. Then it's possible. At the end of the day, if you end up doing 2 million, isn't that better than doing 200K? So
it's still a movement.
Exactly. So you are moving from one point to the other. And that was it. Do you know that this same lady I talked about, she moved from doing 4.3 million in 1 quarter to doing it in 1 month.
Wow.
As of August last year, she was already on 7 million per month.
Wow.
And I'm like,
incredible.
Yeah, it works. And ever since then, I've not really been selling it as a product. What I've just been doing is I've been attaching it as part of the resources people that sign off my coaching to help their mind expect abundance.
Yeah, it's all about the mind shift.
Thank you. But the unfortunate thing is that Nigeria is a hard case, not for us, okay, but it's a hard case. So we are still trying to help to break that barrier in people's mentality. That it is possible for you. And maybe because I come from the background of, you know, a background that is totally different from the average fashion entrepreneur. I never went to fashion school, right? I don't design clothes, but whenever I see clothes on a rack, I have ideas on how it can sell. And then so I'm not limited by all of those dogmas, you know, all of those doctrines that are within the industry that limits people, you know. So I'm able to see things from the different perspectives. And once others can get, you know, align with that line of thought, many big things happen for them. So that's the story behind the abundance mindset.
That's so beautiful because I'm a transformational mind shift coach.
Awesome.
So I can totally relate with what you just said because it's all in the mind. If you tell yourself you can't, you are correct. If you tell yourself you can, you are equally correct. And so being able to move from I can't to I can, because the word of God says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if that's what the word of God says to you, then why do you keep telling yourself you can't do certain things? And I like the analogy that you use, that if I'm thirsty, I expect to drink water. So if I need money, I expect it to be provided, because my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory through Christ Jesus. You know, there's just so many things to it's like this evening is like we are just opening the onions, like layers upon
Yeah,
layers
peeling
upon
them layer
layers,
to layer,
for
correctly.
everything that you say. There's so much depth and so much layers to it that if you begin to just dig deeper and dig deeper, you'll be able to understand that sometimes all it takes is for you to just shift it. What I tell people is, if I'm just able to shift the way you are saying something just a nanosecond or just a bit, I am
Mm,
okay, I am happy. Because at the end of the day, if you have a fixed mindset on something and you feel like it would never work, then it would never work. But if I'm just able to convince you just a little to say, look at it again, as in just
mm,
take a look at it again, it's just like you are a mathematician. when
mm,
when when you're probably trying to solve a calculus equation and you're can you possible, it's too
mhm,
hard, I can't do it, and then your lecturer says look at it again, and
yeah,
then you begin to see those equations begin to move. It's as if, oh, okay, if I put x here, if I put y here, if I use this equation, if I use this formula, oh, it actually can work. So sometimes it's just
mhm,
a case of changing the perspective and being able to you look at it and nod from another angle, and then and I think that's what happened for that lady. Based on
yeah,
what you were telling them,
yeah,
you were telling them, if you do this, if you do this, and then she was like, oh, I've not been doing this, so if I try this, it might actually be possible. If I actually do this, it might actually be possible. So, and I think that's really beautiful. Thank you to everyone that is currently watching, that is joining. Olajumoke, Sheye, Oyagbile, if I catch you, thank you for joining. Bumi, thank you for joining. Anointed Caesars, thank you for joining. Bumi, Trendy, you have a lot of your students here. Coach Laoye, thank you for bringing them
yeah,
on board.
you're
They are here to
welcome.
listen to their coach.
Mhm,
So basically, that's beautiful. And there was something that you said about the fact that you looked at London Business School and some of the curriculum that they have, you were already teaching your students, and you felt like, okay, when will you start charging thousands of pounds for this particular thing? And it reminded me of a particular story or that I came
mm,
across today. I came across it years ago, but it's just beautiful how God is bringing some things that I've known before my way
mm,
again recently. And it was a story of a grandfather talking to his grandson, saying, "Oh, this wristwatch, take it to the pawn." He's had, I think it was his own great grandfather that gave him the wristwatch. So
mm,
it had like a sentimental value of what have you. When you look at his rickety toed and all of that, so he asked him to take it to the pawn shop. And then when it got to the pawn shop, they said, well, we'll give you $10 for it. The boy brought it back. So they offered $10. The man said, okay, take it to is it the antique shop or something like that? And this one said,
mm,
okay, it's old and rickety. Okay, we'll give you $150.
mm,
The man said, okay, take it to the museum. And then when the boy got it to the museum, they said, wow, we'll pay you $500 and add
mm,
this wristwatch to a collection of blah 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 blah. And then he brought it back to his grandfather with his mind blown and said, they're willing to pay me $500,000 for this.
yeah,
And then the man said, yeah. So it is not, so it was a case of the value of the wristwatch did not increase or depreciate for every time he took it there. But for each of the places that he took them to, they had a different
mm,
goggle on. They had a different idea of what that thing signifies. And so when he went to
mm,
the pawn shop, it was just an old thing. They probably just wanted to, just felt like, oh, don't let's disappoint this little boy, let's give him $10. And then
mm,
he went to the antique shop and they felt like, this thing is too old, let's just give you this. But he went to the museum where the value of this thing is actually known, and they could actually see what it can do for the museum, having that kind of priceless, object in the museum. So for
yeah,
you, Coach Laoye, it just occurred to me like sometimes it's just a case of positioning. Do
true.
you understand? You
Mm,
being able to charge that £1,000 or 1 million, whatever amount that you want to charge.
mm,
I think it's just a case of who are the people that who are the museum where you are concerned.
That you should be serving.
Who is your so are you currently serving the pawn in quotes, pawn shop in quotes? Are you currently serving the antique shop in quotes? So where are your museums? So I think that's the question that you can live with today, to be able to say, okay, so it's not a case of whether your value is reducing or increasing. Your value is intact, but where are you positioned? Who is pricing your market? Who is pricing your market? You understand? So I think that's where that's you know, so that story just came back to me, and I felt like when you said that was what I remember, and I said, okay, I think I should just share that with you, so that can give you a better perspective as to, look, your value is intact, your value is gold mine, but who are you selling it to? Who are you positioned to? Who, you understand? So I think that's just, yeah.
Something there. Thank you. I want to say thank you so much, because you are validating a direction that I've already been led to go, which I'm still working on right now, and that is and it's a case of positioning, really. So the thought had been on my mind of late, that what if I approached established fashion brands, okay, whose owners are tired of being involved in the day-to-day sales and marketing, so they want to step back and have a team to run it, so that the business can still, prosper,
scale, in fact,
still scale and be running smoothly. So the thought came like, why didn't you come up with the mentoring and coaching program, similar to what you're doing currently, and targeted at that audience?
Yeah,
and it becomes a proper business to business.
Exactly. And that's like an institutional movement.
Exactly. So as you mentioned this, I'm like, okay, this is also, because that's what I'm working on. And then sometimes when I'm getting the leading to go in a direction, right, I notice that my sales will be plummeting in the current direction I'm in. So it now looks like a case of God saying that as long as you want to suffer, continue there. So you saying this, you don't know that you're already giving me instruction. Move. That's what I just told. Thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Glad. So, wow. Still on this discussion on unleashing the power of ready to wear to 10x, your sales. So my next question is, what? So I think you've sort of touched on a lot of the questions that I have for you. But then, what I would ask, like, what challenges did you face when you started, and how did you overcome? You've told us the success story, you've told us of how you were accepted, but what challenges did you face? Because someone is watching this and saying, oh, I'm not a fashion person, but I want to also go into a field that I am not a guru in, you understand? So apart from you not knowing how to sew or not having any fashion, and then the person that was probably teaching you Tokumbo became busy, what other major challenge did you face that you feel like you could share with us to encourage someone today?
Okay. One of the challenges I faced early on was marketing. In terms of how do you get the attention of a new audience that don't know you, and you don't have anything to connect you with them. So one of the ways I was able to deal with that, right, is that I talked to 10 fashion entrepreneurs. Apparently, in my general business coaching that I started, I had a couple fashion designers that were part of my audience, paying for this coaching at the time. So I called them and I interviewed them, and I realized that amongst all of them, there are challenges that they are facing that are the same, related. Pricing is one of them. Till today, pricing is there. Start a conversation around pricing, and fashion designers will rush you as if, just like ants will rush
sugar.
Yeah, rush sugar. Yeah, because it's a serious issue.
Very
I realized that
serious.
funding is another major issue that many fashion entrepreneurs, face. Then I noticed also how to get customers was also a big challenge, And then I now created a 12-week course at the time around 12 weeks. No, I released a 8 weeks eventually, 8-week course, but 12 modules around these issues. And then I asked them, if I were to do this, how much will you be willing to pay that you will not complain? And then they told me 10,000. That was 2017. And I was like, okay, 10,000, that's fine. Okay, so we can do two-time payment also, within 4 weeks. And they said, yes, it works. And that's how I started. And we got about 25 people also that signed up. And that was when back in the days when people were still selling ebooks. They would sell 50 ebooks for 500 naira. But me, I was telling myself, this same WhatsApp that you people are using to sell 1,000 naira ebooks, collector, and what have you, I will use it to sell 100,000 naira products. But I'm starting with 10K. And that's how it started. So myself and Tokubo, we worked with that back then, and then everything grew from there. So that's one of the challenges, marketing. And then another thing that helped me was that I had studied a lot about email marketing. But I realized that all of these tools will not work in an Nigerian space, especially amongst the fashion industry, where at that time they were not embracing technology as they do now. So it wouldn't work. So I sat back and I asked myself, all the things that they do with email, the automated features and what have you, how can I translate them to another platform where these people can be found? And I realized that WhatsApp is the platform where you can find fashion designers. That was before Telegram came along. And I'm like, if they're all on WhatsApp, then can you be doing the email marketing principles? Can you be implementing them on WhatsApp and turn it to WhatsApp mailing? Just like email marketing or WhatsApp marketing, WhatsApp mailing list, and that's how it all started. Thankfully, today we now have different tools that can help you to save people's numbers. They chat with you automatically, and the ones that you can use to reply people while you are here. So as I'm here right now, there's a campaign we are running. People are clicking a link to come to my WhatsApp. I mean, there's a message that is dropping for them. They are responding, giving them account details. The main payment is automated. I'm able to face this line. But it wasn't there back in the day, So those are the things I learned. Then I also early days, there was the issue of like platforms where you can find people. Till today, I'm still big on Facebook and WhatsApp. Instagram, I am a baby. I need somebody to hold me by the hand. You inviting me is helping me to have the confidence to be using Instagram, and I'm enjoying it. Okay, but I pay for somebody else to manage my Instagram platform. But nonetheless, so you can see where I have weakness, I delegate. Where I have strength, I double down on it. I mean, I can tell people for free since 2017, right? I've done 7 figures, 8 figures in 1 year without running products, and all on WhatsApp.
Wow.
So those were the things I learned. And then I also learned about one of the challenges I had in the early days was, and it's still a problem till today, fashion designers would rather spend all their life savings on going for fashion upgrade.
Going for what?
Fashion upgrades. But they will not spend on business training.
They will not spend on knowledge.
Yes, that would help them to grow. And the funny thing is that the ones that usually come to us is after they've lost everything, they now show up for coaching.
And then there is no money to pay for the training.
There's no money to pay. So it's so painful. It is still going on till today.
Always putting the carts before the horse.
So that's one of the things that led me to be doing, all of these tours where I go from one city to the other. Wow. And then I organize 2 days training. I don't ask for money. Like this year, January, we did Abuja, we did Port Harcourt, we did several parts of Lagos, we did Ibadan. I'll travel, pay for my hotel, flight, and everything. I will tell people, come and learn how to succeed. We are not asking you to pay a dime. And they wonder, like, how will you make it? And I'm like, haven't you heard? When you so see in people's lives that they should
so
I'm going to leave you hanging. No. I've had health challenges that were life-threatening. But when I look back, I'm like, oh, so the reason why I'm still alive is because God sees me as relevant. So because I'm still doing this thing that was saving me.
Honestly.
And I'm like, wow, there was one that happened recently, and the doctor said this thing has been in your system for months. You should have slumped. I'm like, if not that, I'm just irritated by some things I see that made me like, let me just ask the doctor to, do some tests. I mean, even though that it's in my body, I'm like, oh, so this is what they say. Anybody that gives, that help, oh, God's grace will always be available. The scriptures are real, man. So those are the challenges in my early days, and they are still there today, and it still gives us, relevance, anyways. Because people's eyes are opening gradually now that it is possible. Mindset is another problem that I faced early days. It's still there till today. Tell an average Nigerian fashion entrepreneur that they can do $1 million in a month, and the first thing that comes to their mind is you're a scammer. I'm like, do you know how big this industry is? But have you gone to businessofashion.com? Have you traveled? Have you gone on Forbes? Have you gone on Fashion United? Guys, go out and you will see the billions that are there while we are still scraping the surface. So those are the challenges that we have. Then there's another challenge that is still there today, man. Especially for the ready-to-wear space. Okay, there's a framework that works for ready-to-wear, which is simply this: you come up with beautiful designs, just like you have your bomber jackets. Then outsource the production to garment factories that are credible, who have that skill set. Let them handle the production. You focus on marketing and sales. Unfortunately, till today, my fingers have been burnt recommending fashion garment factories that they dance on Instagram, post on Facebook, say they are the best there is. Yes, they keep disappointing. Ruining customers' clothes. Yes, one happened some months back. I mean, the client is in the UK that I coach. I'm ashamed to call the person today because I recommended it. And this person say, oh, we can do this, we can do that. When they made the clothes, they burnt the person's clothes while ironing. And then they patched it up and covered it up and still.
Who does that?
Yeah. I had a potential customer. Somebody reached out to me from Australia about 3 months back. And she asked me, said, what can we do? She wants to go into. I said, madam, go to Ghana, leave Nigeria. Right now, we are still trying to clean the mess in Nigeria. She was like, oh, sir, I love your honesty. But as Nigerians, we should support ourselves. What do you think? I said, ma'am, have you lost money before? Like, you want to lose your savings. You want to because you're in Australia, you're spending Australian dollars. The exchange rate is helping you. Come and lose all your money now. And then she was like, sir, actually, I have bags of clothes that I dare not put on the rack in a store in Australia. I said, can you see? My fingers are burnt. I said, this is what we need to deal with here. So these are some of the challenges that are there, making it difficult for people like me who are into coaching and consulting to help people grow and get results fast. Yeah. I think there's more, but we can
yeah. So, when you were saying it that, you tell them it's possible to make $1 million in a month, and then they tell you that you're scamming them, the truth is that I empathize with every Nigerian on the street, because there is something Nigeria does to your mind that you don't even realize it until you see the light. There is something Nigeria does to you as a human being. It's a case of abuse. When Nigeria abuses its citizens over and over and over, till the abuse is so normalized that even the seemingly possible becomes impossible, that even what is supposed to be normal becomes abnormal, and abnormal becomes normalized. That to the point that things that are supposed to be free becomes paid for. To the point that things that are supposed to be yours by right becomes things that you struggle and hustle for. And there's something they to say about Nigerians all over the world, that we are hustlers. Because where you are coming from, there is this scarcity mentality that, just picture, you at the bus stop and there is no bus. And there are hundreds of you, and there is a 16-seater bus that comes. Just imagine what happens at that instance. and you're already late for work, or you're already almost late for that interview, and okay, you've been applying for jobs for years, and finally they say you should come for an interview, and you're at the bus stop stuck. Just imagine the roller coaster, the revolving. See, I am not an hustler, Your Highness. So you can see the mindset. Do you understand? So there is a way, it's like a case of abuse, no. So I can't really blame them, which is why I really love the fact that you have a part of what you train them on, abundance mindset, because at the end of the day, if you cannot shift their mindset from that fixed, oh, it is impossible, is it in this Nigeria that you want to be able to do this, then Jumoke, we are talking about most, we are not talking about all, you understand? So there are Nigerians who aren't necessarily experiencing all of this, of course, but you can't shy away from the reality that when you're talking about those Nigerians, they are probably a fraction of the entire population. You understand what I'm saying? So they are most likely a fraction of the entire population. So it's just being real, the street is red. So, when you talk to an average Nigerian about possibilities, about dreams, about things that are possible, you understand? They are quick to negate you. They are quick to tell you that it's or okay, why do you think it's easier for a politician to give somebody 5,000 naira for the next 4 years of their life, as opposed to a fella telling the person, vote for me so that I can give you a better life, your generation a better life, your children a better life, and they rather take the 5,000 naira than, do you understand? So look at the weightier matters of, being able to actually get into the minds of the average Nigerian on the street that are seeing poverty firsthand. Do you understand? So even people that are not necessarily experiencing this, at some point, sometime in their lives, they come in contact with this thing every day. So it's the kind of information that they are exposed to that will determine how they process what they are going through. You understand? So if you are not exposed to the right kind, so like, okay, this person that is saying that Nigeria, if you attend a church like Daystar, your mind is constantly re-engineered on a weekly basis. The kind of information you are exposed to. Coach Laoye is a Daystar member. I am a Daystar member. Jumoke, you're a Daystar member. So you understand? So you are talking from a different, perspective of how you are seeing things, but talk to the average Nigerian on the street. That is actually the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that the scarcity mentality, the I can't do mentality is real, and it is not because they want to be that way, but because they've been constantly abused by their own country, by their own nation, by the things going on in their environment. So it's amazing, it's really amazing, but it's good for us to be able to understand why somebody will be able to not believe in that. Because if we are talking about 10xing your sales, then we need to be able to let whoever that is watching this to understand that we first of all need to deal with the mindset that it is impossible and put that aside and step into the realm of possibility and be able to say, okay, I believe you. So what are the things that I need to do to be able to achieve this? Because the quality of your questions will determine the quality of the answers that you get. The quality of your curiosity will determine how far that you go, will determine the things that you will end up discovering. So thank you so much, Coach Larry, for that, impactful, sharing the challenges and then sharing with us how you were able to overcome them, and then telling us about the challenges that you face with people telling you they can't do things. So moving on, what are so I think you've also touched on the major challenges that fashion entrepreneurs they are facing in the current. But what's the number one thing apart from them saying that, oh, they don't have money to be able to pay for business coaching and all of that? What are the business issues that you think they are facing that is not allowing them to 10x their sales? Okay, so let's link it to that. What are the business issues? What are the foundational problems that would not allow a business owner to 10x their sales?
Okay. Number one is capacity. And capacity has different, perspective to it. So one of them is production capacity, right? Well, somebody wants to 10x their income. They are currently doing on average, say for example, on average 500,000 a month, and then they want to 10x to 5 million. Do they have the requisite manpower? Do they have the equipment that will help them to be able to meet up? Because sometimes the things we pray for that we don't get, we think that God does not like us, but He understands that if He give it to us, it will mean us. I don't want a situation where I'm aiming for 5 million and then a dog opportunity comes and I'm able to charge that amount, but I cannot meet up. Then I look like I'm serious to whoever is bringing that opportunity. And they may never come again, so which lends credence to that statement. Opportunity that meets you prepared leads to success, So capacity in terms of production is very necessary. Now, and then it's an ongoing challenge till today. We expect that the bulk garment producers can fill in that gap. Unfortunately, they are not able to meet up for whatever they are facing. So that's one. Then number two that I noticed that is limiting people is their marketing capacity. Marketing. Yeah, it's also about capacity. Now, whoever is able to earn 200,000 in a month in error, right? There's something they don't know that somebody else know that is helping that person to do 500k. There's something somebody who is doing 500k doesn't know that somebody else who is doing $1 million a month knows. So if that means there is that knowledge gap that will always be there from layer to layer. So when a fashion entrepreneur who wants to 10x their income does not have the requisite knowledge for the level they are aiming for, it will look like they are hitting a glass ceiling, whatever the effort they put in. So which is why there's always a need for continual upgrading your knowledge, your knowledge base to help you marketing in terms of capacity. Then the other type of capacity I'll talk about is human capacity. So I saw a post recently doing Shonubi, one of my big sisters in the industry, and she said there's something about Pastor Samadi Yemi that people need to study. A pastor in Nigeria sending forth his pastors and saying whoever among the congregation feels like they can help to support this person's ministry, please go with them.
Go with them. Yes.
Mindset.
Yes, man.
And then I'm like,
it's a kingdom mindset.
And then I'm like, okay, in our own space here, how many fashion entrepreneurs who want to build international brands understand what it takes to build a team and not have that slave master mentality, because it's a problem in part of the world.
In charge.
Yeah, whether we like it or not, whether we want to admit it or not, most of our people who are into fashion business, they grew through a system of apprenticeship that taught servitude, that taught slave and master relationship. So it's their psyche, subconsciously they're expecting anybody that works under them should stay under them. They don't understand the place of, somebody can be under you and be bigger than you tomorrow. Whereas that person being bigger than you will be the person that will open doors to a global audience for you. So that is also a thing that is needed. So it's connected to leadership. Okay. So being able to lead yourself, in your journey. Well, if you are doing it for the money, just to pay your bills and to make money and live a good life, these things will not be part of the person's natural thinking. Okay. But if you understand that you are a custodian of prosperity, you are somebody that God is blessing so that you can be a channel through which other people will rise. And by your rising, you keep rising. Because something I've learned is this. If I coach someone who was doing less than 100K a month and today is doing 5 million a month, 10 million a month. I'm already a part of their success story.
Yes,
There's
now
no
your name will
more
show up.
kingdom
We'll
come
see.
that they will talk
Yeah.
down on me. So that's it. And there will be doors that they would see that they can help mention my name that will open for me on account of the experience. So we need
As it
that
should
in
be.
our schools.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's another challenge. Then another challenge I noticed is this, right? That's affecting fashion entrepreneurs from 10xing their income is money management. Like I tell people, you know, money is not the major problem for fashion entrepreneurs. It's usually not knowing how to manage them. That's usually challenging. Now, you make some money. Do you have a saving culture? Can you put aside part of your money to invest and make the money come back to you, work for you? If you cannot do that, then you will always be in that rat race, always just earning a bulk, a little more to pay your bills and whatever you. So it's missing in our space, really. So I see a lot of fashion entrepreneurs, they are like, oh, I want to go for grant, get grants. And I'm like, well, fine, you can go and get grants. But the truth of the matter is that it's an addiction if you're not careful. So that means the person will never be able to sit down and imagine and plan and get
they can
money.
Create it.
Great, thank you. So they'll now be, they only have skill in cooking up numbers and coming up with proposals, speaking the language of grants and collecting. That's the business, but that's not the business. So that's one of the things that is also missing, you know, in our space that can limit somebody from being able to expand. Another one that I see is, to be honest, coaching. Coaching is essential. Yes, I mean even Messi and Ronaldo, they have coaches. I mean, these are the biggest athletes in the world.
How do you think they became number one if they didn't have coaches?
You know, and then there's this misconception people have about coach. They think the coach is the person that will tell them everything to do. It's a lie.
No,
that's not it.
The coach is there to ask you questions.
You know, strategic questions to help you unlock your potential, help you see what you're not seeing. And then also they can help you bend the curve in terms of how fast it takes you to get to where you are going by showing you the mistakes you should avoid. That's what they do. That's why I tell people when they come to me and say, okay, what ideas do you have? And they say they don't. I said, ma'am, your coaching fee is going to be wasted. You should have ideas. So I
can't come to me empty because you are more likely to commit to what comes from you than what comes from me. So the answers are within you.
Thank you. So if it was consulting or a done for you service, then that's a different ballgame. That is not oriented.
Exactly.
Then another thing that is missing for those that want to tell their sales, you know, is investing in paid marketing. So let's call it speed is speed. In our part of the world, Nigerian fashion designers like to do freebies. They like to look for free marketing, free ways to market, and then at the end of the day, it's peanuts that are coming. I've seen it happen again and again and again. Imagine people posting, or the only thing they know about marketing is posting on their WhatsApp status, on their Facebook story, on Instagram, every day doing what is that thing that they do? That pods and what have you. You know, engagement brings sales. It will get you sales to some extent, but there are points that you get to and you realize that you need to leave social media. That's one thing many people in the industry don't know. Those that I've worked with that are doing 100 million, 200 million and above in a year in the Nigerian era currently, right? They get their money not from social media. It's off social media.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It'll shock you.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm consulting for one of them, and then we are running a sales campaign now because he now wants his business to be sales and marketing to be, you know, separate from him, so he can run it. So we've been at it for 2 months, putting structure, online stores, what do you call it, e-brochure that you can click links inside to order online or via WhatsApp and all of those things. Now, one of the things that we did is that we hired some people for him and trained them to do lead generation. Okay, this person, their captain is anything from 120,000 and above. So you're gonna be there. If you want to buy, you have to be somebody that money is not your problem.
Exactly.
So the question we asked is this: where can we find? Oh, sorry, Never just struck. We'll turn on the gen on my own name.
Oh, Nigeria, Nigeria,
Okay.
Nigeria.
So while I wait for the power to be on, please,
Yeah,
hope
no
I can
problem.
continue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things that we did is that the people that we hired for him for marketing, they were to do research, to search for company likely to be run by high net worth individuals that are men.
Okay.
And then we got over 1,000 phone contacts for
Wow.
business owners
Wow.
whose businesses are selling products that are usually in 7 figures.
Wow.
So those kind of people paying 100K and above for, clothing will not likely be a problem.
Yeah.
So now we are now rolling out messages, phone calls, right? Booking appointments to come to their offices. We're going to be starting that tomorrow, and then I'm going to escalate. Escalate means that I'm going to expand. I have somebody that can do research and help me get about 3,000 contacts in like 5 days or 3 days.
Wow.
Of this kind of companies. And then another person to do the messaging via WhatsApp, as an individual messaging on WhatsApp.
Wow.
And then another person to do phone calls. Now, tell me, is that social media marketing? No.
No.
You will get to
You're going to where the real people are, ganga. And these people that have the money, and the truth is that they are not on social media.
Thank you. So that's the game. So I just shared, maybe there's somebody here that will give an idea.
That was gold that you just shared, man. Gold.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's incredible.
That's the prices, amongst other things.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's just just you delve so deep. Thank you so much for sharing. So now the next question is now like, how do we use, going now to the main topic, we've journeyed so far. Now we are now at the center point. How can we utilize ready to wear to bridge the gap in our sales, to 10x our sales? So what can we do? How do we unlock that?
Okay. I have some points that I wrote in my notepad.
Okay.
Hope you don't mind, I can go that.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
The first thing is to put our house in order. So, for most people that want to, leverage ready to wear, right? It means that they should be transitioning into ready to wear gradually. So, it's not really necessary that you should stop your bespoke tailoring service, okay? But start productizing your bespoke services. So what that means is this: those kind of clothing, specific type of clothing that you make for customers, how can you turn them into ready to wear, such that customers that come to you to ask for you to make those kind of clothing, rather than taking their own styles, their own designs, right? You already have ready-made designs that you can shop to them, market to them to buy. So if you can do that transition, following that route, then it now means that you can deploy what I call bespoke ready to wear. That's one of the models that I teach people want to venture into ready to wear. Because many people, they think that ready to wear simply means that you will spend a lot of money to buy a lot of fabric, pay tailor to sew en masse, and then you now start looking for customers. Nothing can be further from the truth. If you try that without having the foundation, the person is going to lose all their savings, all their investment.
Yeah.
Okay, so but with bespoke ready to wear, you are coming up with a collection, sample product, prototypes, and then you advertise them, you promote them, and watch which of these designs you come up with are people responding well to. So once you find the ones that they are responding well to, right, then you cannot back that up with what aggressive marketing, organic and paid. So how do you get the framework of this? We could have ideas of like saying, I hope you got the framework I just shared.
Yeah.
So let's say you have an idea of 8 designs to come up with of different types of clothing, right, for your ready to wear brand that you're working on. And then you create prototypes. Then you promote those prototypes. And I realize that out of 8, only 3 are being demanded, by your audience. Then you know that, okay, the other 5 I should not pump money into mass producing those or promoting those, because for now it seems like they are not what people want. Some months down the line, some years down the line, you may find that people want them, okay? But for now, they don't want them. So the three that you notice that these are the ones that people are demanding for, that's indicator of where the money is. So you follow the money by following the ones that they are most interested in. Then you can now pump in money into paid ads to push those ones, okay? Or if you don't have the money to do paid ads for now, invest heavily in organic marketing. In organic marketing is any form of marketing you do for your product without paying for adverts, and you still get sales. That's organic. So once you start generating sales, you can have a big part of the money to pump into paid ads. I did that recently. I launched a mentoring club for just 10K to run for 6 months for people who are beginners in the business of fashion or who are struggling, to really do 6 figures. So we're like, 6 months, let's help you out. And then I got about 52 people. Now it's 53, that signed up for you. From America to Ghana to Nigeria and what have you. So it shows that thing is needed by people, right? So now I picked 50,000 out of the money that we generated as revenue. And then I gave it to my ad manager. And I said, we are going to run paid ads this time around to get more people to sign up, because we showed that if we promote it, there will be people to buy.
There will be more people to come.
My ad manager said, you know what, let's not target Nigerians. Let's go for Ghana, other countries where there is great favor source. So you can see. So that's me going from organic to paid. So the same thing applies if you are doing ready to wear or any type of business, any business you run, you can follow the same format and you'll see the results. Right. So I think I've touched on the bespoke ready to wear thing. And like I said, we're going to be doing bespoke ready to wear. It hinges on you coming up with what? A few designs, testing the market, right? And whatever. Now, how do you come up with a few designs? That's another point. I need us to know. In my ready to wear on a budget course, the first module is how to create collections that people want. The game is this. In fashion, as is in any other business, it is not about you. It's about your customer.
It's about your customer.
So people are like, okay, my customers, right? What do they want? Because you are not in the business of motivational selling. Anything like that. You are in the business of listening to what they want and then doing what?
I'm going accordingly.
And selling it. Then when they buy, you can now upsell what they need. So I'll be like, oh, I noticed these people, they need modest clothing. Okay, now you need modest clothing. Maybe you end up doing charity with it. But they tell you that they want bomber jackets, right? Fine. Run with that, then you now add modest clothing with it. And then they begin to reason like, oh, okay, I think I need that also. And then you're upset. So that's how I guide people, to do things, right? And then apart from that, another point that I brought here is this. Apart from creating collection that people want, I said you need to set goals. We want to 10x your income. The question is this: 10x what amount? There has to be a base figure that you're starting with. Oh, I want to 10x my income. Okay, what's your current income? Oh, my current income is 1 million a month. Ooh, 1 to 10x it, you're aiming for 10 million. It's simple mathematics.
It's simple.
Oh, my current income is 100,000. I want to 10x it. That's 1 million.
That's 1
Congratulations.
million.
My current income is 56,000. Congratulations. 10x is 60,000. The thing is this: you're not in a race with anybody.
Yeah.
Follow your own
path.
Grow. You are in competition with yourself, not others.
Exactly.
Okay? So when you set sales goals, it helps you. What I tell people that earn less than 100,000 naira, okay, or people that are living outside the country that are earning less than $1,000 is this: you have to benchmark with $1,000 monthly or 100,000 naira monthly. Okay, but then this information I'm giving you is kind of stale, because I've upgraded how I teach people. So I teach something called income tree. So let me just share that quickly. What that means is this: set your sales goals on a quarterly basis, because it will give you, your mind will tell you that you have 12 weeks. You know, that's what makes 3 months, right? You have 12 weeks to hit this sales goal. So if you are going to do that, the minimum I recommend for people to do within Nigeria is 500,000 in 3 months as your total revenue. But if you're outside of the country, aim for $3,000, or depending on the reality of where you are living in. That which means you need to look at your living expenses in a month, okay, then double it or triple it and use that to guide you, okay? So living expenses in a month by 3 months. So that would be your living expenses in 3 months, multiply it by 2 and use that as a benchmark, okay? So that's a starting point. So that when you now earn that figure and it becomes a normal thing for you, you can now start thinking of how to do 10 times that income. I don't want people to believe that you can achieve it, start now, have an abundant mindset, it will work for you. That's a lie. You have to grow because capacity is involved. You know, we already touched on that earlier. So let me recap. You switch to bespoke ready to wear, and you know, start with creating small design, testing the market, and backing up the ones that people are ordering with what paid ads and aggressive organic marketing. Second is you create collections that people want. Okay, what they want is what they will buy.
What they want.
What you think they need. Yeah. Then the third is you need to now set sales goals for you to be able to bring in the money, because like Brand would say, you know, everybody sets goals, right? But it's the people that write down their goals that are going to achieve it, not the people that think it. Because while you are thinking, I've seen it better. It's happened to me, you know, many years back, and then I've taught people that when you are aiming for a particular income and you don't write it down, 1 week passes and you don't meet 10% of that income, your mind start doubting. If second week is come and you don't turn up to half of that income, what would happen? Automatically your mind will have that income and say, at all, if I can just get half of it. That's the mindset of a loser, any day, anytime. Okay, so you need to write down your sales goal and do your calculations for each of the products you are coming up with at the prices you are selling them. How many units do you need to sell to achieve your sales goal? So I'm talking to people who are in business proper, right? They are already doing business, right? Then you should already have an idea of what their current monthly income average is. Then they can now aim for 10 times that amount as the next level they want to, you know, aspire to. Then so that means they will say, oh, if I'm paying for 500K per month for now, then it means that I want to move to 5 million per month for now. Okay. Now, once they have that in their mind as something to go, what is their goal? They do their calculation. What do I need to sell? How much do I need to sell it in order to get there? So in this case, we are talking about your ready to wear, right? And then you need to now face reality. Do I have the capacity to produce, to meet up? Do I have the manpower to produce, to meet up? Do I have the marketing budget to produce, to meet up? So if you know you don't have the marketing capacity, the manpower capacity, right, the production capacity, then you now tell yourself the gospel truth. How long can I work towards getting to 10x? So if you for me to get doing 5 million a month, it will take me about 6 months to 1 year. Then I know that okay, I'm setting a goal for 6 months to 1 year of developing capacity in what we needed. That's wisdom. And you can see this business analytics. It's not fantasy. Because there's a place like, oh, we've imagined it. Now it's reality. How do we make imagination of reality? You know? So setting sales within these numbers helps you. Now, the other thing that I would have been here is that if you know your sales goal that you want to aim for, which one 10x, right? You should have you should run sales campaigns. Okay? What brings the money in the sales campaigns? You know, there's the regular business of like, oh, I'm hoping that customers will come in to my business, or I'm hoping that someone will chat me up and say, I would like to buy your product. That is normal, okay? However, what is not normal is to be expecting that as the way to hit your sales goal. You will not. Okay? Rather, I mean, you don't see goalposts, players standing in front of their goalposts and not going towards the opponent's goalpost. They will not be able to score. So you need to go out. So for you going out, just like you see in football, right? Attacking your opponent. Doing that, the similar thing is you are running sales campaigns. For me, I recommend that you run sales campaign 2 weeks every month. Okay, so that means 2 weeks of aggressive effort, offline and online, to get people to know about your offers and to do what? Canvas for sales. Because if you are canvassing for sales every day for 30 days, you will soon break down. And not only that, your audience will be bored of you. Because they will be like,
you're always in their face.
It's only to say that this one goes. So that's why usually teach that they do that. So now there's a trick I teach people in my coaching platform, which is this. Once you know how much you are aiming for as your sales goal, right? For say for example in a quarter, right? Now aim for in your sales campaign every month. Pretend that you are actually aiming for that sales goal in that month. So say for example, say I want to 10x my income, fine. And then you see that, oh, it looks like I have the capacity to get there. Or you like, from this 10x I can do it 2 times first, double, 2x, if there's anything like that. Then you're now like, okay, if you want to 2x my sales goal, I used to do 500, now 1 million. Okay, fine. Now, if I'm aiming for 1 million in a quarter, can I be working hard every month and trying to achieve that 1 million? So that means month one, you are going to do your marketing as if it's that 1 million you want to do what? Achieve. Month two, you repeat the same sequence. Month three, you repeat the same sequence. You know what this will do for you? It will build your muscles. It will build your emotion. It will help you to sit up and wake up and not pretend to yourself and seek the help that you need to get the results. Yes.
Amazing.
Because you are now stretching. Stretching. Your mental capacity is stretching. That's what it is. Okay? So I've tried that. I remember back in 2017 or 2018 when it was the Holy Spirit that taught me anyways. I was just going to do grocery shopping and the thought came to my mind that can you aim for double the last income you were doing last month and aim for it every month for the next 3 months. So then I think I aimed for 200k, which was double of what I used to do monthly. Then I was like, okay, I will now aim for this 200k every month for 3 months. In 1 month, the first month, I did how much? I think I did 250k. Second month, I think it's about 168,000. I was sick. The third month, I did 305,000. By the time I added everything, it was roughly around 200k. So it meant that I knew how to bring in 200k monthly without art. I developed that capacity. So the next level is what? 400k. So I now aim for doing 400k every month for 3 months. By the time I had it up the revenue in 3 months, divided by 3, it fell on that 400k. So it meant I've developed capacity. The next thing is that what is the next step? That's when I discovered that you cannot move from 400k to 1 million to 800k immediately. That won't work. Instead, don't move to 1 million. Enter the 7-figure space. And I'm like,
Wow.
so that's how
Wow.
it works. So the same thing. So you can say it's sales campaign thing. So for sales campaign, you should have offers. What are the offers I'm going to use to promote this product? Buy to get one free or whatever. Free shipping in Lagos and Kaduna, Port Harcourt, whatever. Whatever the offer is, you use it to push those products to lure people to buy. Okay, I always be aiming for the estimated sales unit. What that means is this: how many products you need to sell in order to hit that number you are looking for.
That number.
Let's say your 10x is 1 million and you have a product of 10,000 naira. You already know you need to sell 100 units. If you have another product that you are selling for 20,000, you know you already need to sell only 50 units. If you have another product that you're selling for, say for example, 30,000, you know you need to sell just 33, 34. You see how the numbers are reduced?
Yeah.
Then you are now asking, what offers can I use to push the one for 30k? What offers can I do to come up with to sell one for 100K or 10K? What offers can I come up with to sell one for 20K? Once you can figure those out, you now start promoting them during your sales campaign. Okay? So that's another thing for another any but at least the central the concept, right? Now, the other thing I mentioned before now, which now comes to bear, is that when you're running your sales campaign, you can fast track your result when you now run it with paid adverts. Okay? So paid adverts now means that I don't know anybody, but Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, I want to give you my money. Show my advert to the people that I know can afford it. Because I don't know anybody. But if you know people, you should be on the streets meeting them. You should be on the phone with them. You should be in their DMs because you know. So that's how you do. So combine organic and paid ads. If you're going to do paid ads, I want to recommend that you should start considering Google Ads. Reason is this: the premise on which Google works is that people are searching for something. Google will not drop in their faces, right? In the search engine result page, what they are searching for. So among the things that we drop will be adverts related to that thing they are searching for. So Google will be showing your advert to people that are searching for what you are selling. That's the difference between it and Facebook.
Oh wow, so that's beautiful.
Will share it with people that are likely to respond. So that's it. Now there's the organic part. The organic part is the last part I want to share, which is this. You need to be the marketing list, and you need to keep expanding your marketing list. Okay, what that means is this: you know your target audience, you know the kind of people that you want as customers, right? That can afford you. Just like you taught me earlier on. When you talked about positioning. You know the kind of people that fit into your ideal customer profile. Okay, that is the dream customers you are looking for, or the kind of. And when we say dream customers, I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm talking about people that the price you are selling that is nothing to them, or it's affordable for them, or if we give them some discounts, they will be able to pay. Because the rule of selling is this: you are solving a problem at an affordable price. That's it. And affordability is relative. For somebody else, 500K is affordable. While for somebody else, say you're thief. Do you get? So once you know the price points that you are selling at, who are the kind of people that can afford it? Those are your ideal customers. Okay, so start building a marketing list of those kind of people. Okay, and then you keep reaching out to them because the money is in your marketing list. And there are so many types of marketing lists. You can build a marketing list of your existing customers. You can build a marketing list of old customers. You can build a marketing list of outbound leads. Outbound leads are people that fall within your target audience, but they don't know you. I mean, I give an example earlier. Google. You can use Google search to search for businesses. Let's say your target audience includes caterers. Go on Google and search for caterers in Lagos, in London, in Canada, in whatever. Start collating their database. Start collating their contacts. Reach out to them. Right? If you run Facebook adverts will also be searching for those kind of people within their own database. So if you can get their database, then you are already your own Facebook. This is part of why I'm able to say right now, I do 8 figures in 1 year, 7 figures before. I oscillated, COVID-19 affected, but then we've done 8 figures because we were running this kind of organic marketing. No paid ad. Yeah, there's work involved, yes. But when I'm seeing the alert in my bank, who cares? What is work?
The cocoa is to be clear as to who has your money in their pocket.
Exactly. So, and I wrote here, focus mainly on your ideal customers and look for as many channels as possible to find them. You have no business trying to do vanity metrics. If you like, post on Facebook, on Instagram, and only 2 people like. That should not affect you emotionally. Because those will be the things that these people that can buy from you will see and do what? Come to you and buy. It has happened a lot. So I've been able to develop thick skin. And I don't bother whether my post has 100 likes or whatever. Because my sales goal, I'm hitting it. Which is the reason why I don't have to be posting every day on Facebook, Instagram, for me to get results. You get the trick, man. So that's the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that was why I said earlier on that you will get to a point and you realize that the sales that you are aiming for, the higher level you are aiming for, you need to leave social media. If you don't want to leave social media, you need to spend money. You must spend money. You can't play with that. And then for spending ads, have it in your mind that if you spend 1 naira and you make 2 naira, you have succeeded. If you can live with that reality, then running ads will not be a problem for you. If you can't, go and improve on your marketing list building, okay? And then be reaching out. So these are the points I'll say. The last one I'll now put is this. Before you start your sales campaign, prepare yourself mentally by doing words of affirmation. While you are on your campaign, exercise words of affirmation. Speak existence what you want. It says that just like it says just like the snow and the water and the rain fall on the earth to water the earth, right? Causing the ground to grow, thereby providing seed for the farmer to plant for next season and bread for the hungry. So it's the same as the word of God. He says it will go to wherever he speaks it, sets it, and it will come back prospering. It will not come back empty-handed. What does that mean? It means that your mouth, right, will feed you. That's another thing many people don't know when it comes to generating their income. That's one of the things I've learned. Okay, I grew from 50,000 naira to 1 million, to above 1 million, to 2 million. How did it happen? That's more than 10x now. I mean, I've told you my story from back in 2017. Okay, and then I'm seeing me higher. But the thing that I kept seeing is this: a man will be satisfied by the fruit of his lips. That's what New Translation said. Those scriptures in Proverbs. Sorry, I don't know how to quote chapter this, verse this. But when I saw it, I realized that I must say what I want. Okay, declare it. Call forth the people. Now, when I noticed something, when I realized that my faith or my confidence is not high enough to declare things and expect it to happen, I do prayer and fasting. 2 days, maximum 3 days. I just come in and I say, God, please, those people that can afford what I am selling, those people that need what I am selling, wherever they are, north, west, south, east, please cause them to locate me. Cause them to remember.
Cause them to locate me, to remember.
Once I say that prayer, and I say from the bottom of my heart, and I say my amen. Whatever thoughts that comes to my mind, whatever ideas that comes to my mind, I go and implement it. Yes, today, one of my clients, he has a collection he wants to release next month that is aiming to do 100 million in revenue, right? And there's a sales campaign we just started today, and in my mind I'm like, how can we get this result? It's beyond me. So the thought came to my mind, and the thought was that make it a prayer project and say, God, show me the way, show me the ideas I should implement. I don't want to use my own knowledge alone. You see, I'm getting to the point where my capacity
is exhausted.
Somebody in the UK wants to pay 500k for one-on-one coaching. She has not paid. Another person wants to put 50. The thought now came, why don't you make it a prayer that not everybody that has agreed to buy from me or that has been thinking of buying from me, that one way or the other they've stopped, they did not come, cause them to find me, direct their paths, let them locate. So if you want to 10x your income, you better incorporate all of this in. So that's what I would like to share.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was deep. That was a whole master class. If you are watching this and you implement that and you don't get results, then I don't know what else can give you results. Because honestly, he has given you all the tools that you need without holding anything back. I mean, just go and implement this one first. Just go and try it first, and then come back and say, Queen Billion, coach Laoye that you brought that said it did not work. Then we will now know what else to find, to solve your matter. Because I don't know what else, like that was just beautiful. That was a beautiful matter. There will be the replay of this on live classes with Queen Billion on YouTube. So go and watch this session over and over again till you get it, because that money must be made. And like you said, everything that we have discussed today is relative, because to someone their 10x is actually 100k because they are not making more than 10,000 naira monthly. So if your level is still at 10,000 naira monthly, there is no rush. You and yourself by yourself alone are in competition. So stick to your game. Your own 10x is 100,000 naira. So look at how you can do that. Do you get? If you're already on 100,000, then you know that your own 10x is 1 million. So it's all about perspective. So when we are talking 10x, it's not in the billions or in the millions, depending on what level you are. So wherever that you are right now, times it by 10. So if your 10x is 100,000 naira, it's all well and good because you've never done it before. So that means you are growing in capacity. So, and I pray for everyone that is watching it and that is going to watch this, that you will find, what you are looking for, the purpose for which you have set up your business, and you'll be able to actually come back to say, yes, so all of those things that were discussed on this slide, you implemented and you were able to get results in Jesus' name. So, wow, we are getting to the end of this, and so the question that I want, and I think you said a lot of empowering things, a lot of empowering things, especially when it came to the fact that you need to affirm yourself, you need to be able to talk to God and be able to, when it's beyond your capacity, beyond your power, go back to your maker to be able to say, God, I need clarity, I need direction, I need guidance. I don't think there's any other word of encouragement or empowerment that you need, or any other mind shifting thing that you need tonight to hear, than to connect to the source of all things, that would be able to shed light on whatever that is dark in your business, that is dark in your life, to be able to give you clarity as to, oh, this is what I need to do. And like, if you remember what he said, if you're just joining, he said something. He said once he makes that prayer, whatever idea comes to his mind, he executes. So those of you that are saying, I've been praying and God has not been speaking to me, can you see how God speaks now? He speaks in pictures, not in parables. He's not the author of confusion. So whatever, like when Mary and Jesus went to that wedding at Cana, and there was no wine, and Mary said, whatever he tells you to do, do it. That is just the situation. So there is no more wine in your business, there is no more wine in your life. Whatever answer or idea comes into your mind after the prayer, do it, run with it, and see what happens. Because that's how God speaks. You will not come to you, oh, my son, my daughter, I've heard you for the past 3 days. This is what I want to. God is not dramatic. He's not dramatic. Just do it and you will see results. So, on a final note, what are your 3 greatest life lessons?
Okay, the first of them is don't gamble. Take direction. It will reduce your mistakes, because even when you seek directions, you will make mistakes, but you would have the assurance that the person that gave you the direction, you can run back to them and they will correct you. I remember Psalm 32 verse 8. They said, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. Best pathway for your life. I will counsel you and watch over you. That means protect you. So when he says, I will guide you, so he's going to lead you. You are guided when you don't know which way to go. Then when he says he will counsel, he will give you, that means he will give you options. The options he give you will lead you to the same destination. Just like I said earlier, that I got the leading that I should teach people into fashion training and I should teach people into ready to wear. But I was honest with myself that ready to wear is the better option as of that time, right? Then, when I started, and then some people started attacking me online and offline, rather than it wearing me down, right? It actually opened more doors for me, because I didn't bother to be attacking them back. I didn't bother. Yeah, so the person that gave me direction, that was guiding me, was using all their attacks to elevate me.
To
So you
fuel
can
your
manage
fame.
your work. Yeah, that's number one. Number two, manage your health. In the course of trying to beat poverty, trying to beat lack, trying to beat success in life, I did not take care of my health. Now, God has blessed us. I'm managing them, but at the same time, His promises are coming to help, to overcome. So, this is an object lesson for everybody that while you are in the throes of trying to make a living, trying to build a successful business, manage your health very
Properly.
well. Okay. And then the third life lesson that I've learned is this. Don't ever forget that you were not a success until God made you a success.
You're nothing.
Yes. So if you can understand that, then you would realize that you are actually supposed to be a channel of blessing. Yes. Because no matter how good you are, no matter how successful you are, there's someone somewhere waiting for you to fail. There's someone somewhere just literally expecting that you drop dead.
They're just angry.
Yes, yes, and it's normal. If you don't have those people, you will not strive to be successful. Normal.
Yeah, they're just
So,
angry at your existence.
So while you are there, be a giver. Be a giver. Be a giver because you are a conduit of blessing. So you are part of the fabric of nature, and nature will preserve its own. Who created nature? God.
God.
He will preserve his own. Yeah, so that when you are at a point you're about to make a mistake that will ruin you, grace will come and
Speak.
step in for you. It doesn't matter whatever your religious inclination is, it's the law of the universe that I've discovered. And so those are my 3 life lessons. I'm running with them, and it's helped because if you understand all of this, why would you want to be holding grudges with people? Why would you want to be fighting everybody? You are on a journey that your creator has already marked for you.
Mapped out for you. Wow.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Mind blowing, mind blowing. This has been an awesome session. So,
Yes,
to round this up, where can we find you, Coach Laoye? Tell us, how can people reach out to you?
Okay, on Instagram, Laoye Curtis Fashion. That's my Instagram handle. Laoye Curtis Fashion. The Curtis is spelled as Curtis, then fashion. Laoye Curtis Fashion. On Facebook, you can search for me as Fashion Billionaires Coach. Fashion Billionaires Coach. Yeah, you'll find me with that handle on Facebook. Or the Laoye Curtis on Facebook, you'll find me. Otherwise, just type Laoye Curtis on your Google. You'll find me.
Wonderful.
Google, you'll find me. Instagram, my Google page, phone numbers, everything. If you want to chat with me on WhatsApp, it is +234 9095859489. You can always chat me up on WhatsApp, okay? And if you check my DM, my bio on Instagram, you would also see my contacts. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very
wow. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Like you've immersed us in your wealth of wisdom, and may God bless you. And I just pray for you that you will find your museums, putting it into perspective. Yeah, and your museums will find you. Yeah, because that's the next level. That's the next level, and it must happen. Because I remember when you started this journey, when you were looking for, fashion people to talk to. We were we were your first customers, So I'm grateful to God for the growth and how far you have come. You understand? So that's the next level, and the beautiful thing is that when you start yearning for the next level, it means that you have outgrown the current level. And even God knows, and then He will begin to show you how you should be able to. So it's a beautiful thing because you have outgrown these particular shoes and you need to feel the next one. But you need to be ready to let go of what you are used to and then be able to face the next one. And which is amazing. Thank you so much for coming, Coach Laoye. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody in the audience has a question or if we've been able to exhaust everything that you hoped that we will talk about. But if at all you have any question, can always drop the question in the comment section, and I can always get it across to Coach Laoye, or you can always reach out to him to ask the question. And on this note, do you have one thing that's probably dropped in your spirit that you want to say before we call this a day?
Okay, from my end, right?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. As far as your eyes can see, that's how far you can go. So start seeing big things beyond your destiny. You'll be where you are right now.
As
Yes, and if
far
you need
as your
any
eyes
help,
can
you
see.
can come to my inbox. We can help you get there. That's my calling,
Hallelujah. As far as your eyes can see. And until next time, it's Queen Billion, and I am signing out. Thank you, everybody, for joining this live session. God bless you, and see you next time. Bye.